got several names. William H. Bonney, Kid Antrim, and Billy the Kid.
Know what he looks like?
They say he dresses kind of funny.
Funny.
I mean, unusual.
Michael, Donald, Jeff in Las Vegas. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Billy the Kid, I'm a Western fanatic. I'm a Western. I know every movie, every television show. So I was so excited for Billy the Kid, and congratulations. What a wonderful series. I'm about 4 episodes in, and just congratulations.
Thank you so much. We're proud of it. We're very proud of it.
Well, you know, Michael, almost the first 2 episodes showing Billy the Kid as a young boy and how his life began and how he changed for the worst. You really spent some time on his childhood, devoting 2 episodes.
Yes, I don't think you can understand the man without understanding the boy. And I thought one of the things I was trying to do was sort of demythologize Billy to some extent, to look at the reality, I did a lot of research, into not only what we know about Billy, the real person, but also the background of the times, what was happening in the West. His immigrant roots are very, very important. And I felt that it was very important to show that. I thought, once you begin to understand the hardships that the family went through, particularly when they were almost forced to go west because there were no jobs in York, forced to go west, being promised, opportunity and jobs, and there were none of those at all. And his life was bleak and difficult. He lost his father, his brother, and in due course his mother, and and the rest followed from that. But of course, the difficulty of starting with the boy is you have the challenge of finding a young actor who can play that role. It's very difficult. And I thought we found a wonderful, wonderful, very, very engaging and sympathetic character, actor. He's wonderful.
Jonah was amazing. Yes, he was incredible.
Yeah. So I think it was about, I don't think Billy ever turned for the worse. I think he was forced by circumstances to do certain things, which in many respects he regretted. And he always said that he was more sinned against than sinning. And I wanted to understand what he meant by that.
Well, Donald, I'm reminded of The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. When the legend becomes fact, print the legend. So was there a fine balance between giving some entertainment about Billy the Kid and keeping it factual?
Yeah, I mean, what's the old adage? Never let the facts stand in the way of the truth. I thought,
or a good story.
I think Michael was very, very good at. There's the truth of Billy's life and his character is always there. In a dramatization, you have to take certain liberties with timelines and things like that. But I think the truth of it, the essence of it, is really sensitively handled by Michael in the writing and the characters, and I think that's always there.
Well, I think that Tom Blythe is perfectly cast as Billy the Kid. I love he has that taxi driver moment, in front of the mirror.
Isn't that great?
And also, I just say, Otto Bathurst, excellent eye. I was noticing all the different directors on the series. And, when it comes to a Western, it's so cliched. Everything's been used. It's all about how you convey it. And I was just blown away by his direction.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you something about that I was talking with Otto for a long time, a relatively long time before he shot anything. And he was doing some research as well. And we began to feel that actually what we were doing was something special. And it was a pre-Western, that when Billy when he was young and his family went west, it wasn't the West that we've seen on every other movie and every other TV show. This was before those townships were really established. Coffeyville in Kansas, the first place they went to, was supposed to be a thriving Western town. Well, it had only been established 3 years before, so it was a building site. There were no jobs, there were no opportunities at all. And so what
Just
Otto
blood.
did,
There's
yes,
lots of
so
mud.
what Otto did, which I think was very interesting, very brave, and completely the right thing to do, he refused to accept. In Calgary, where we shot the show, there are a lot of standing sets, and most Western units, people shooting Westerns, use them. But when he was shown them himself, he said, but I've seen all these. You know, I've seen them in every, I don't want, our show's got to be different because these places didn't exist. So we're going to build our sets. And after all, for example, the railroad hadn't even arrived yet in Kansas. So
As I say, that the sets looked like they were just thrown up. You know what I mean? They looked like something you would arrive to because, you know, materials were valuable back then, you know, especially in the middle of nowhere like that. So I noticed that too, because I'm like, you notice every Western set from every studio. I thought, wow, they built these shacks, you know, that represents the town. So that was very authentic. But Michael, did you have to send your cast to cowboy boot camp? That they had to learn how to shoot, how to be on a horse and all of that?
To some extent, yes.
They did.
And when they arrived in Calgary, I mean, I think that Tom had, you know, done a lot of horse riding in preparation, that he'd done a lot of working with guns and doing the trip. Yeah, yes, he
in New York before he came to Calgary.
That's right. But when he got there, he said nothing really prepared him because there were many real cowboys who helped on the shoot. And Calgary is famous for its, what's it called, Donald?
It's called the Calgary Stampede. It's one of the biggest rodeos in the world. And there's a man named John Scott, this incredible guy. He was our head wrangler, and he's like the guru of all things cowboy and rodeo. And he has a gorgeous ranch with cattle and horses and a stable of all these young wranglers who taught our entire cast how to use a rope, how to ride, how to, you know, handle anything that might come up. How to deal with livestock. It was really kind of incredible.
Yeah, Tom's gun handling was amazing. I was just watching. He was so amazing. You know, there's so many characters in this show, but the one that want to keep staying with me and I just really enjoyed was the Wagon Master Moss. You know, I just love that character. So I love how he befriended Billy, you know, and I just thought that character, that actor was just amazing.
Yeah.
He had a lot of soul.
He did.
When you're a young boy, you need someone like that. You need someone who's not your father, but someone, you know, who you really look up to, who says wise things, you know, who, I mean, most of us, I met someone like that when I was a boy who taught me to play snooker apart from anything else. But
that was a tremendous influence. And also, without giving spoiler away in our final moments here, the scene that just burned in my memory is when Billy was cuddling his mother in bed. I mean, just that was such a she was ill. That was such a heart-wrenching, you know, because he was such a mama's boy. You really established that. And when you saw that scene when she was ill with consumption, I mean, I was crying. I mean, that was just so emotional.
Yes. And Eileen O'Higgins is such a magnificent actress.
Incredible.
Wonderful. I mean, I think that people watch these shows if they can empathize with the characters. And that means this is not about people living a long time ago. This is people who feel very real to us and who we can identify with, their sorrows, their joys, and so on. And I pride myself on doing that in my shows.
Well, congratulations, gentlemen. It's an excellent Western. Westerns are back, and you guys are just adding to the genre in a great way. So thank you both, and I'll talk to you again for season 2. I feel it.
Okay. Yes, thank you.